genre.
After everything we've suffered through lately, can we at least spare ourselves the indignity of walking through disgusting back alleys everywhere we go?
If you want, I can start throwing you.
What's wrong with just calling a cab?
There's like 20 of us.
They make van versions of cabs. I've seen them at airports. Oh God, I actually miss airports.
We're fugitives, Madison. Did you forget about the time we wrecked MC3 and Billy blamed the whole thing on us?
Of course I forgot. What, am I supposed to remember every terrible thing that's happened to me this year? Do you have any idea what that burden would do to my mental health?
Oh yeah, 'cause you're super well balanced otherwise.
Janet, I will choke you.
Well, joke's on you, Madison. I genuinely don't know how I'd react to that.
So are we walking anywhere in particular, or...?
We're just walking, okay? We gotta keep moving, or they're gonna find us.
Like who? The cops?
Cops, Billy, Nathan, our evil clones, another Godzilla. Whoever feels like taking a dump on our lives today. I don't know.
We need a place to rest, somewhere we can recharge and make a plan.
Why don't I just saunter over to a nearby hotel and book us the largest suite in the building? It'd only cost $1.
If we go somewhere big in public, someone might recognize us.
We need some kind of safe house.
I'm not sure anywhere is safe at the moment.
Can't go home because they'll know to look for us there. Can't go to the shop because it's a crater.
And we can't go back to my beloved Swift Industries because it's been overtaken by a mad capitalist bastard intent on world domination.
And who was running it before exactly?
I was not intent on world domination. I just wanted everyone to love me and to need the things I created for their daily lives.
Man, I wish you could still sleep in the bathroom at Starbucks. Then all our problems would be solved.
Whoa, hey, everybody shut up for a second. I just had an idea.
What are you thinking, Jeff?
That there's only one place left in this city where nobody's going to try to arrest and or murder us, and I hope he doesn't mind company.
Underdogs! And you brought friends! Lots of friends, I swear. Every time I see you people, there's 6 more of you standing around in the back. Oh well, good thing I'm hella rich and have a big penthouse condo with plenty of room. Come on in, everybody. I'm making spritzers.
Dueling Genre Productions presents Geek by Night, Episode 42, Failure to Launch. Written by Scott Carelli, Nick Jimenez, and Cass Fredrickson.
Okay, I think I got it. So William Medina trapped you all in a giant supercomputer.
Pretty much.
And when you finally escaped, it was 6 months later, and everything was kooky crazy.
Definitely.
But when you tried to go back to the past, something went wrong, and you ended up in a completely different parallel universe. And now you're back here in the past. Or present. Huh. I guess it wasn't that complicated.
Really feel like we shouldn't gloss over the part where I jumped into Godzilla's mouth. Sure, it ended up not being a real Godzilla, but technically there are no real Godzillas, so...
Of course it was real, Joel! And you are so brave and toned, considering how erratic your workout schedule must be right now.
Sometimes I have to wait a while before it's my turn to talk, so I can usually squeeze in a few crunches. It's no big deal.
You know, if I weren't already engaged to a literal astronaut...
Hey man, anytime you guys want to throuple up, I'm down. I really miss hooking up with rich people.
No. Unless... No. Well, maybe. No. You know what? I'll talk to my... Excuse me, tall girl. Can I help you find something in my liquor cabinet that belongs to me?
Dude, we just got back from an alternate reality after escaping a nightmare version of the future. I kind of need something stronger than a spritzer.
Hey, don't walk away from me. This is my sexy penthouse apartment. Mine, okay? And she's gone. Oh, she is by far my least favorite. I like all of you, but I like her less than the rest of you.
Hey, brought you a drink.
Thank you.
How are you holding up?
Well enough, I suppose. For now, I'm just grateful for somewhere to sit down for a minute.
So, this is a thing now, I guess.
I suppose it is.
Do you want to make out? Oh, God,
well, I wouldn't
sorry.
be opposed
Did you need
if
to...
you...
I don't want to pressure
isn't
you, but
appropriate
I'm
given
down.
the situation.
You're down.
No, I'm
right,
down.
I know.
I'm
We're
very
about to go
down.
do a whole plan
Not to seem
thing,
too
but
eager,
I haven't been able to stop thinking about that kiss, and... You should go. Your thing is probably more important.
Mindy, I can't think of anything more important right now than kissing you again.
Don't be adorable just to distract me. Spill!
I don't want it to ruin the moment.
Why would it ruin the moment?
It's about my situation.
And that's not something you have to deal with by yourself anymore.
When we were in that alternate future before David died, he told me that he'd been working on something that could help. And then he gave me this.
What is it?
A cure. For what's happening to me.
A cure? Simon, that's great! Why does your face not look like it's great?
There's a catch.
Okay.
If I take the cure, I'll lose my powers. And? I'll lose my powers, Mindy, forever.
Yeah, I heard you. You have a cure to stop you from literally dying in the palm of your hand, and you haven't already taken it? How is this even a conversation, Simon?
It scares me. Of course, the prospect of withering away into nothingness before I turn 30 also scares me.
You don't want to give them up.
I don't know who I am without them anymore. What if I can't help you all? That scares me even more.
Simon, having these powers, it rules. And yeah, if I woke up tomorrow and just didn't have them anymore, if everything just went back to normal, whatever that even means, I don't know what I would do either.
Thank you for understanding.
But I definitely don't know what I would do if I woke up tomorrow and you weren't there. That would be... We just got started, okay? I'm not ready to say goodbye. And anyway, with or without your powers, you're still a genius. So don't be an idiot.
You're right. I'll do it. I'll take the cure.
Good.
But I think I should wait until after all of this is over. I have a feeling that my abilities might come in handy today.
You're probably right. But Simon, as soon as this is over...
Bottoms up.
Good. You still want to make out?
All right, you lot. Is everyone showered and sufficiently liquored up? Because it is game plan time, baby. Family meeting.
We really need to work on our timing.
Rain check?
Rain check.
Oh, God. Is that a whiteboard? Who gave her a whiteboard?
Are those stick figures supposed to be us?
Yes.
Honestly, Lorelai, I don't even know where to start. So much has happened, I can't even keep it in my brain anymore.
We just need to gather everything we know, which in return will reveal everything we don't know, and then it's just a matter of figuring out how to fill in the gaps.
Well, in that future world, Billy made evil clones of us for some reason.
Right, which explains David's involvement in all of this. Billy wanted his clone tech.
But David isn't aware of that yet. He just thinks he's helping with the game's rollout.
Are you sure, Simon? David's a smart man. He may have sussed it out.
Believe me, he doesn't know.
Simon's right. We all spoke to David when we went to Simon's lab in the future. Billy's just using him.
Of course he is. Using someone else is that scoundrel's specialty.
So we have clones, we don't know why.
Wasn't it to fight that last man guy? He was like a terrorist or something, right?
That's what he was using them for when we got there, but I don't think that's what he had in mind when he created them.
Charlotte's right. When I spoke to William in the future, he said it all went toss-up when the game got hacked.
So who hacked it? Something of that scale would need to be a coordinated attack from a group of people. At least a dozen, maybe more.
an army of evil hackers based in McKinney City. Anybody else want to say it first?
The Devil's Advocates. I hate those guys.
Okay, maybe. But what's their angle?
Chaos, mass hysteria. They're not exactly complicated.
Whatever their reason was, they managed to sabotage the game, and William was forced to use Nathan to do what he was really trying to do in the first place.
Which was?
Give everyone in the city powers.
The game was going to give everyone superpowers?
Everyone who played it, yes.
When I checked out the show model of the game at MC3, it had a lot in common with the Origin pod back at Swift Industries. That's how he was going to do it.
Well, what about the catalyst? Don't you have to drink that for the Origin particles to activate?
Nerds love energy drinks. Wouldn't be hard to sell it with the game.
You don't need to drink the catalyst to get powers. I'm proof of that.
But even if it wasn't the energy drink, you still would have to absorb the catalyst somehow.
Well, Vector did drink a concentrated dose of the catalyst before his accident.
Yeah, the one time I don't read the directions and my whole body explodes into... Oh, sweet baby rays.
It's not pretty, but it's really the only logical explanation.
Oh God.
What? What is it? Why is everyone looking at me like that?
You know how, Victor's body exploded?
Yeah.
And how for the Origin particles to work, you need the catalyst in your system?
Uh-huh.
I think you might have gotten some of the catalyst secondhand.
Wait. Are you... Are you telling me that I got my powers because I inhaled the catalyst that was inside of you when you exploded?
The catalyst has to actually be ingested, so it definitely would have had to get into your mouth.
Oh my god!
Gretch, I am so sorry.
No. Sorry, I need everyone to stop talking about this right now before I have a mental breakdown because I drank part of my friend!
Right, point being, there are ways around the typical catalyst absorption. So, William's plan, had the game not been hacked by the Advocates, was to give everyone superpowers.
So there's suddenly thousands of people running around the city with superpowers. How does that help him? What's his goal?
Same as it's always been. Rule McKinney City with a tiny iron fist.
McKinney City wouldn't be enough. He'd want more power, more security. I know what he's doing.
Oh, good. Would you mind sharing with the rest of us? You seem super stoked about it.
William always talked about giving power back to the people. Literally. Normal people with abilities. And I felt that way too. It's why I've always had so much faith in you lot. It's the reason I thought William and I were so compatible as partners. But that wasn't the whole story.
So, what's the whole story?
One night, he laid his whole hand out to me. He thought that if I knew what his long-term plans were, maybe I'd go along with it. Instead, I cut him off, ended our professional relationship then and there. I should have known that he wouldn't have let it go so easily.
And what were his long-term plans exactly?
He wanted to be the director of a new federal agency dedicated to containing the emerging threat of superpowered people.
But he's the one making the super people in the first place.
I'll ask, create the problem, then make the solution. I'll bet my last bottle of scotch that's just what he's up to now.
So, the clones of us he made back in the future, those were what, like a prototype for this creepy agency?
He doesn't have enough clout to pitch himself as the head of a federal agency out of nowhere. But if he's already doing the job with agents that people can trust, that must be why he was never on board for the overachievers. They're reformed villains. The optics weren't strong enough.
And he knew he would never be able to convince us to join him, so instead...
He clones us and programs them to follow his orders no matter what.
Why do I feel so dirty?
Because you just realized you've been but a mere pawn in Billy's ghastly game. It's not a feeling that goes away easily.
But Charlie's right. The government's not going to just hand him the keys to a brand new federal agency overnight. They don't do anything that quickly.
Unless something happens that forces them to speed up the process.
Like an attack.
Or any event involving superpowers that could be construed as a threat to the American people. Something big, something public.
But how could he count on something like that happening? Isn't that leaving a lot up to chance?
He wasn't going to leave it up to chance. He was going to leave it up to me.
Nathan?
Nathan?
Honey, you're home early. Great, grab a spritzer from the fridge and pop a squat. We're swapping exposition.
Leo, do you know who that is?
Of course I do! That's Nathan Gershwin. He's my fiancé, the astronaut.
What? Hi, kids. Miss me? All right, everyone, we're only a few short hours away from the launch of the game in households across America, and I can't wait to share the moment it goes live with all of you here in the room. Until then, hey, let's keep the party going, huh? Enjoying the festivities, William? Not as much as you're enjoying the open bar. What can I say? I've always been the life of the party. Cool. Well, try not to overdo it. You've got a whole virtual universe to create in a few hours. You know, the thing we've been talking about for months that you seemed pretty psyched about until now. I used to be a journalist. I had integrity. I wrote about things that were real. Except for the time you lost your integrity when you made up a story and ruined your career. I'll admit, I've made some mistakes. And those mistakes are what led you here, to me, instead of jail where you belong. So, how about you focus on that and maybe smile or something? You're bumming everybody out. Not all of us are as good at hiding behind a smile as you are, Billy boy. That's too bad. It really comes in handy in things like this. For example, 3, 2, 1. David, hi. So good to see you.
What gave you the faintest idea that you have any control over my schedule?
Not sure what you're referring to, partner.
My media appearances tomorrow? They've been canceled? I didn't do it. So I can only assume it was you. I want to know why.
Oh, that. Well, I didn't really think they were necessary.
Not necessary. I've been doing this since before you were born. How about you let me tell you what's necessary?
Not loving the condescension.
It's launch day. We need to be hitting the pavement and talking about our product anywhere that will give us airtime.
It's a video game, David, not your memoir. Okay? Why don't we just let the product speak for itself? Keep it low-key, you know, classy. But hey, if you want your face on the side of a game rig, I'm sure it's not too late. We'll order a decal. Not like any of this really matters anyway.
What?
Oh, sorry, I gotta take this. What's our status? Excellent. Set up remote access and then get out of there. I'll activate them when I'm ready.
Who was that?
Party planner, are you still here?
This isn't over. I'll be rescheduling every interview for tomorrow. You can't.
You know what? Go ahead. Knock yourself out. Let me know how it goes. In the meantime, I'm going to go do literally anything else.
What an asshole.
I'll toast to that.
Leo, how can you be dating Nathan? Can someone please make this make sense?
I'm not just dating Nathan. We're in love and we're getting married. See? The compressed moon rock on my finger proves it.
Guys, are we positive we ended up in the right universe?
We definitely are. As impossible as that may seem.
I don't understand. Nathan, do you know the Underdogs and their friends, the additional Underdogs?
That I do. From another life.
Why are you here, Nathan? Shouldn't you be with Billy?
And since when are you a friggin' astronaut?
Billy? Who the hell is Billy, Nathan?
Relax, hon. He was sort of my boss in another life.
Stop saying stuff's from another life and tell us what the hell is going on.
He isn't that Nathan. He's the one from the future. The one that I sent back.
Very astute, Miss West. Indeed I am. The last time I saw your faces, I had just given up my control of McKinney City and tricked dear Gretchen here into sending me back a little further than the rest of you. I do apologize for the deception, Miss West, but I wasn't about to relinquish that much power just to be put behind bars here 6 months in the past. I wanted my freedom and a second chance to prove that I could be more.
Dude, you were basically a god. How much more can you get?
I wanted to be someone I never could have been. Something I never attempted to be before. A good man.
I don't understand. You're from the future.
it's a bit more complicated than that. But in my other life, I was a disgraced journalist turned supervillain until I circled back around for my second chance.
Wait a second, you have powers too.
He can alter reality and create anything simply by speaking it into existence. He's the single most powerful person we've ever gone up against.
That's so marketable.
You know, I tried that, and it didn't go very well. But if I had you on my team, things would have gone differently.
Oh, honey, of course they would have.
You see, this is the life I want now, Underdogs. While I went out of my way to appear footloose and carefree whenever we would match wits, in actuality, I'd grown weary and unfulfilled from playing the villain. When you have the power to make anything real, what does anything matter? Such existential questions had long taken the flavor out of everyday life, and I was becoming quite depressed.
And that's when we came out of the computer maze, or whatever.
Correct. With you all back on the board, a new plot began to develop. And so, Miss West here sent me back, and I arrived in time shortly before my past self told a little ghost story and brought hell to McKinney City. Only now, however, with this new perspective, I was witnessing the horror caused by my words firsthand.
All right, yeah, portal to hell opening up. Ghosts everywhere. Man, talk about a great first impression.
From behind the microphone, in the safety of the recording booth, it was easy to ignore the pain and fear I was inflicting on the people of the city. But seeing it with my own eyes was humbling, to say the least. And while I knew that there was nothing I could do to change what I'd already done, I was determined to change who I was. And then, the next day, I was at a coffee shop getting a no-whip mocha latte and wallowing in my own guilt when I overheard Leo talking his way out of a date with some obnoxious influencer who was trying to chat him up while I was in line.
Hey, I remember that! He was trying to get me to go to a foam party or something, and I told him I had a boyfriend who was an astronaut, and he thought I was talking out my ass because I was. But then later that day I matched with an astronaut on this dating app I did the publicity for. I just thought I had manifested it.
And in a way, Leo, you did. In just those few passing seconds, I sensed a fun about you. This jazz, the way of life that seemed to be made up on the spot. You had no control over your life, yet you lived in total freedom. It was intoxicating.
Okay, cute, but I'm waiting for the part where the evil scheme kicks in.
There was no scheme. Well, there was a scheme to become an astronaut, but because of my powers, that became real. Technically, I am an astronaut, and technically, there is an orbital outpost Zeta because I made it real. Because that's what I do. I say whatever I want, and it becomes real. But with Leo, I had the chance to make something real the real way. And that suddenly became very important to me. No powers, no lies.
Except the astronaut bit.
Technically true, as I said, but Leo, you have to believe that I never lied to you. I really did eat lunch in the bathroom on the first day of high school, and I really do cry at every version of the Christmas Carol. And everything I told you about how you make me feel, that was true too.
Oh, Nathan, this is the weirdest, most romantic thing that's ever happened to me.
Just wait until I tell you what happens next.
Ooh! I'm on the edge of my seat.
You see, now that I had Leo and my new life as a world-renowned astronaut, I had become a new man that I wanted to become, with one exception. I would always have the ability to slip back into my old ways because of my powers. If I truly wanted to change, I would have to let go of my safety net. So, I got rid of them.
Like metaphorically?
No, literally. I don't have my powers anymore.
How is that possible?
I used my powers to alter reality one last time, and I willed them from existence. While keeping my new life as an astronaut intact, of course. It took some effort, but once I knew they were well and truly gone, I proposed to Leo, and now I intend to live happily ever after as a slightly above average man with the love of his life.
Wait! Nathan, are you telling me that you gave up the power of a god to spend the rest of your life with little old me?
And I would do it again in a heartbeat.
I cannot believe my childhood dream of being Meg from Hercules is actually coming true tonight. Oh my god, you are so getting laid.
Nathan, not to interrupt the moment happening right now, but did it ever occur to you that maybe your abilities could have been useful to bring about world peace, end world hunger, or, I don't know, stopped William's ruddy plans for world domination with a bloody thought?
Well, what kind of god-awful resolution would that have been?
With this guy. Oh, stop. He's an artist.
I think that means we officially need a plan B. Anyone got one?
Well, priority number 1 has to be the game, right? If we can stop it from going online, Billy's whole plan falls apart.
Great. So, how do we do that?
I could upload a virus to the game's mainframe and wipe the whole thing, but it's on a private server, so I'd need to get my hands on a console to get access.
Good luck. I handled the marketing on that personally, and they're sold out everywhere.
Wait, we said earlier we think those Devil's Advocate dweebs are already sabotaging the game. Why don't we just let them?
I don't think it was the Advocates.
Why not?
I dropped in on them a while back, and I don't know. The Ire was the one with delusions of grandeur. Without him, they were just looking to get paid and stay in business. I don't think this is them.
Maybe they have a new leader? The Ire can't be the only incel psycho in town.
Wait a minute. The whole reason I was at the Advocates' hideout was because I figured out that they were the ones who robbed the monorail. But they said they were just hired by someone to do it. Someone named Genius Boy.
But that's your nickname for me.
Yeah, no shit. That's why I came to your place that night to confront you about it, and met Robot Simon. Then I got really distracted by you being on the brink of death, and completely forgot about it.
How could you forget something like that?
Gwen, if you haven't figured out that Mindy and I obviously have undiagnosed ADHD yet, then I don't know what to tell you. Out of sight, out of mind. It happens.
Thanks, Jeff.
I got you, sis.
So, care to explain yourself, Simon?
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I mean, I literally can't. I don't know anything about it. But with everything we've been through recently, the time travel and the alternate universes, I'm not saying I definitely wasn't involved somehow, but right now I have no idea how or why.
You know, I seem to remember that we tried to send a game rig prototype to a warehouse on the east side a few weeks ago, but it never got delivered.
Did someone steal it?
Hard to say. It was on the monorail when it was speeding out of control. No, it couldn't be.
I know that look. Simon's brain just turned on the NOS. What's cooking up there, pal?
Well, theoretically, there's really only one way that I could be Genius Boy and not know about it.
Evil clone?
I was thinking it's because it hasn't happened yet.
What do you mean? It was like a month ago. How could it not have happened yet? Oh, I get it. He's talking about time travel.
Time travel? Again? I thought we were finished with that.
So did I, but it's the only way I can make sense of it.
All right. One last ride. Where to?
Well, I was thinking, since you were able to make a time phone out of Victor's arm,
it's still kind of tingly.
Maybe you could do the same thing to my smarty-talkie, so I could make a quick call.
Oh, sure. What are you thinking?
How long does it take to plan a train heist? Say 3 weeks?
1 month and 3 weeks? Coming up. Should be good to go.
Excellent.
Wait, how do you know the number to call? Are the Advocates in the phone book or something?
I'm not calling the Advocates.
Hello, Simon. How can I be of assistance?
Hey, Synth Simon, I need you to find out how to contact a group of hackers called the Devil's Advocates. Then I need you to hire them to rob the McKinney City monorail in 3 weeks. There will be a prototype virtual game system on board from Swift Nostalgia. They'll need to steal it and hold on to it until I send someone to retrieve it 1 month later. Use a voice modulator when you call, and use the name Genius Boy.
I'll take care of that right away. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Yes, don't tell anyone what you're doing, not even me. Understood?
Affirmative. Thank you for calling. If you'd like to hear all of your appointments for today...
That ought to do it.
So Robo Simon is Genius Boy.
Technically, I suppose.
Why did you tell him not to tell anyone?
Because he was programmed to always tell the truth. So when Mindy eventually confronts him about it, telling her will contradict my order, but not telling her will contradict his programming. So he'll malfunction and reveal himself to be an android to Mindy.
So that's why he freaked out before, when I started questioning him.
Exactly. Which kicks off the series of events that ultimately leads us here.
Oh, so you created a causal time loop at the same time that you closed it. Nice one, Holt.
First rule of time travel, always leave everything exactly as you found it.
Okay, so because that happened, the Devil's Advocates have the game prototype right now?
Assuming they follow directions, they've been holding onto it for weeks.
Then we shouldn't waste any time. Let's head over to their warehouse.
Shouldn't we be taking care of the whole evil clone thing first? You know, before they activate and start trying to kill us again?
Then why don't the Underdogs take care of the clones while Charlie and I take care of the Advocates?
I can handle the hack myself. Why are you coming?
To help if they get out of line. You know, swirlies, wedgies, shoving them into lockers, that sort of thing.
While you lot are doing that, I'll take the overachievers. We'll all go to that launch party event for the game. I think if we can find David and talk to him alone, I can get him to help us stop William.
I'm not sure that conversation is going to go the way you think.
Well, he helped us out in the future, didn't he? And while he may not be that man quite yet, it does show that he has the capacity to be. I think I may be able to give him a wee push in the right direction.
I'll believe it when I see it.
We're going to a party? Can I dress up?
Low profile, Madison.
And how low profile do you think you'll be going to a fancy party wearing cargo shorts, Cosmo?
To a gaming party, pretty low profile.
Whatever. I'm doing it.
Victor, we could probably use your help tracking down and breaking into the cloning lab.
I am always down for some light B&E.
And what am I doing?
Oh. Ooh.
I feel odd having to reiterate this, but I have the power to convince anyone to do anything, which seems like it could be helpful in most scenarios. For instance, I could help Lorelei convince Dr. Holt to join our cause. I could help Joel and Charlotte convince the Devil's Advocates to hack the game. I could help the Underdogs convince their evil counterparts to turn over a new leaf. I'm using the word convince loosely here, you see, because I can literally make them do anything you want.
Yeah, no, that checks out.
It's just, well...
Dash it all, what is it?
Max, you have a way of making little fires to put out big fires, and this is kind of 0 hour right now.
Right, of course. Despite all my best efforts at proving myself to be on the side of the White Hats, none of that matters when I neglected to prove myself to be the only thing that matters in a time like this. Competent.
Max.
No. I understand. I'll stay out of the way while continuing to play the role of a lowly utility player, as it were. I'm sure I'll find something to do until I'm needed.
Thanks, Max. All right, everyone knows where they need to be and what they need to do, so I guess the only thing left is to go out there and do it. We can't screw this up, guys. The whole city is counting on us, so let's get out there and save the future.
We got company. Walking up to the front door.
What the? Who are they? What do they want?
Do I look like the king of random people to you? How the hell am I supposed to know?
Hello, we're here to speak to the advocates about a job.
What's the Chad doing here?
I keep telling you nerds, my name's not Chad, it's Joel. It's not even close to Chad.
Just let us in and I'll explain the plan. And how much it pays.
Thank you. So, let's not waste any more time. We're here to follow up on a transaction on behalf of a client who called himself Genius Boy.
What about it?
What you stole was a working prototype of Swift Nostalgia's The Game. Now we want to hire your little army to hack it in a coordinated attack that will cripple all of its servers and sabotage the launch.
Sounds like fun, but I think we might have other plans for the prototype.
Indeed we do. Surprised to see my triumphant return? Well, you know what they say. The ire rises. And our plan requires that launch to go off without a hitch, which means you two need to be dealt with.
Thanks for the help, Mr. Gershwin. Don't think we would have made it for security without you.
Least I could do, really. Besides, there's someone at this party I've been dying to have a conversation with. And if memory serves, there's an open bar. Cheers, everyone.
Hey! What about the plan?
You're Lorelei Swift. Plans are overrated.
Right. Okay, team. Chins up, smiles on. I've gone to literally hundreds of these blasted things. If you keep telling yourself you're having a merry time, eventually it just starts happening.
Great, so it's like Rush Week, except full of old people.
Everyone here is like my age.
Did I stutter?
Hey, so, random thought. Before deciding to come to this party, did any of us remember that, Nathan aside, we're all literally escaped fugitives?
You worried someone's going to recognize us? Well, not you, obviously. Your power's the opposite of that.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about me.
Hey, is that Lorelei Swift?
Isn't she supposed to be in prison?
Quick, take out your phones.
Oh, Crivens. Well, I was hoping we wouldn't have to do this in such a do-or-die situation, but like the Stone said, you can't always get what you want. Now can you? You need to learn how to use your powers right now, or this whole thing goes belly up.
What? I don't use my powers. They just happen. I can't control them.
Yes, you can. You just haven't figured out how. But you do need to make these people forget me, and quick, because otherwise we're all going to end up back in the slammer.
That's too much pressure to do something I don't know how to do.
Will you stop whining and just try?
Forget.
Yeah. Hello? I'm calling to report the location of an escaped convict. I get money for that, right?
It's not working.
Well, I believe in you, Janet.
I appreciate that, Cosmo. I really do. But I need strategies right now, not affirmations.
Your abilities are involuntary. We can't make them voluntary all of a sudden, but I believe you can spread your power to others by force of will.
What does that mean?
Jedi mind trick.
Yes, exactly. That might work.
I just tell them to forget they saw you?
Well, yeah, but, confidently.
You want Janet to be confident? We're doomed.
Madison's right. I've never been confident about anything. Even when I was famous. I was terrified the entire time. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Just stay calm, make eye contact, remember to breathe.
Excuse me. You haven't seen Lorelei Swift. You don't even know who that is.
I'm sorry. I must have been mistaken. I haven't seen Lorelei Swift. I don't even know who that is.
She doesn't even look like Lorelei Swift.
What does Lorelei Swift look like again?
I can't remember. Did that seriously just work?
It worked? It worked! I did something right.
I knew you had it in you, Janet.
Thanks, Cos.
Oh, I'm so proud of you, lamb, but there's no time to celebrate. So, let's split up to cover more ground. Now, we're short on time, yeah? Don't get distracted. We're here for one reason, and one reason only. Find David Holt.
And what do we do when we find him?
I'll let you know when I figure that out. Go team!
So Madison gets to go to a swanky-ass party, and I gotta break into Medina Enterprises and find some newborn clones to beat up. So not fair.
Are we sure the clones are here and not somewhere more secure?
Yeah, why isn't there any security working the lobby right now? Seems weird.
Maybe we lucked out and they're on break. Or in the bathroom. All at once. Together.
Gretch has a point, though. Why would Billy keep the secret cloning laboratory he doesn't want anyone to know about somewhere we all know about?
As far as Billy knows, we're stuck in a digital maze right now, so who would even be left to look for anything?
This is definitely the place. Victor and I took a look at the data that was being gathered from our time in that maze and tracked what was being sent, and it leads right here.
According to my readings, the data from our maze run is being stored on level B40.
Great, I'll call an elevator.
Which would be helpful if we were going up, but we're going down, which requires biosecurity clearance, which we don't have, and I can't generate fake biomatter. Yet.
Can Mindy zap us down there?
I'm afraid not. Looks like Billy had power dampeners installed all over the building.
So what does that mean?
It means we're taking the stairs, nerds.
Ugh. What? No.
I'm afraid Mindy's right, Gibson. We don't have another option.
But 40 flights!
Just be glad we all showered before we left Leo's place.
Senators, congressmen, thank you so much for joining us today for the launch of what is sure to be our most successful endeavor since starting Swift Nostalgia just a few months ago.
Yes, well, while I'm not one to turn down an invitation to a good party, Mr. Medina.
It's actually Dr. Medina.
Certainly. But we're not here in McKinney City to see the launch of your little toy, Dr. Medina. We're here to tour the Supermax prison prototype that your company has spent a significant amount of time, resources, and donations convincing us to see it in person.
Yes, and I'm sorry about the scheduling mix-up, of course, but you know what they say about finding good help. Case in point. All right, tomorrow we'll talk about the future of my Supermax design and what it means for the future of this country's correctional system because... My apologies. First thing tomorrow, I will be personally leading your tour so that I can be there to answer any of your...
Is everything okay, Dr. Medina?
Okay, so sorry. I'm just going to step away and take care of whatever this is really quick. Please, enjoy the party. What do you want?
Ah, good, you picked up.
Max, I told you, we're done. My time is too valuable to... Wait, how are you calling me? You should be in a digital coma right now with the Underdogs.
Indeed I was. And from a certain point of view, I still am. I've been on a long and tumultuous journey of self-discovery, and having reached the other side, I now know who I am and what my ultimate purpose truly is. And now that I've returned, I'm determined to fulfill it.
Returned? From where?
The future, old chum. And I've come bearing valuable information. But you'll need to move quickly.
Another round, please, bartender.
You got it.
Actually, miss, this one's on me.
Oh. Is this your brother, Mr. Gershwin?
I suppose that's the only logical explanation, isn't it? Still got that sense of humor, I see. Mind if I take a seat? I don't see how I could possibly refuse. So, is this an evil clone situation? Because I don't remember wishing for someone who truly understands me as that monkey pie was holding pearls its final finger. But I've also been drinking heavily, so who knows? No. I'm not a wish gone awry, nor a clone with nefarious intent. You and I are simply from different points in time. Two ships passing in that vast temporal night, somewhere between your past and my future. But that's all mostly irrelevant to your interests. Oh, good. I hate time travel stories. They always get so complicated. You have no idea. So, I take it you're here, drinking by yourself, stewing in your own superiority, while wondering to yourself how far you'll have to go just to feel something even remotely close to satisfaction again. I take it you've been here before. You're beginning to see the first threads of a new plot, a new story. One of a man finally taking his rightful place in the universe as a living god who doesn't sit idly by watching his world unfold, but one who takes an active role in it, creating and changing anything he pleases at any moment he chooses. Am I close? I've had worse ideas. Unfortunately, you haven't. And it doesn't even work. In fact, it actually just makes you more despondent than you previously thought possible. Real fun stuff. Well, that's unfortunate. The problem is you work best when you're being challenged. And as a being with unlimited power, your plan isn't challenging, it's boring. Guess I'll keep drinking then. Would you like my advice? Would I be able to stop you? It's time to jump ship, Nathan. A bit late for that, isn't it? Iceberg ahead, not enough lifeboats. So change course. Avoid the iceberg. And how do you propose I do that? You need allies. Real ones. Dave and Billy might find you useful right now, but they don't trust you, and you don't trust them. Where am I supposed to find someone who is stupid enough to trust me? You're not going to find them. You're You're going to earn them. And it's not going to be easy. You'll have to do the work. Something you haven't done in years. Well, luckily for us, we do love a challenge, don't we?
How much further?
10 floors.
We're gonna figure out this elevator situation before we have to go back up, right? Because down is one thing, but climbing 40 floors will absolutely make my heart explode.
Hey, Elliot. Remember that time the elevator was out at Nostalgia Toys for like a month?
Oh man, by the time they fixed it, I was in the best shape of my life. Part of me was a little disappointed that I didn't have to walk up and down 20 flights of stairs every day, but only part of me. Isn't that why Joel got us that sandwich bar for the cafeteria all week?
Yeah, to apologize for breaking the elevator. He never told us what he did, but those were seriously the best sandwiches I've ever had.
I had a dream about them the other night.
That's why you were crying in your sleep?
They had 12 kinds of bread, Gretchen. 12! And I only got to try 10 of them.
How did you even get to 10?
I came in early every day and had one for breakfast.
They had breakfast sandwiches.
As stimulating as this conversation is, I'd like to change the subject to the task at hand so we can figure out exactly what we're going to do with our clone counterparts once we find them. Unless we'd like to keep discussing different types of bread.
What's there to figure out? We're just gonna switch them off, right? Stop them from ever coming online?
They're not robots, Jeff. They're living beings.
I mean, yeah, okay, technically, but, you know, they're clones.
So am I, Gibson.
Come on, you know what I mean. You weren't programmed like the Watchdogs were. They're, like, predisposed to evil or whatever, right?
Can we really assume that?
Well, I thought we could until now. I'm not like a bad person for that, right?
No one's calling anyone a bad person, Jeff. We're just talking things through.
Yes, and while I agree that killing sentient clones, no matter how evil they may end up becoming, would be wrong, it's worth noting that we don't even really know how developed they're going to be at this point. We technically met them months from now. We have no idea how long they've been operating. For all we know, the cloning process hasn't even begun. We could just sabotage whatever cloning setup Billy has down here and stop them from ever existing in the first place.
Oh, so you mean they might not even be people-shaped yet?
Yes, Gibson, that's exactly what I meant.
What if we could change them? Make them good, like us. We could all have twins. That could be fun, right?
Twins freak me out.
Seconded.
Yeah, I have a hard enough time keeping the one Jeff out of trouble. The last thing the world needs is another one around, constantly messing up and limping his way through adulthood.
It's just weird because we've met them, you know? It's not hypothetical, they existed, and to stop that from happening feels vaguely murdery?
Victor, you're old and wise. What do you think?
I think we're here.
That is some damn fine super science going on in here. Damn fine.
Yeah. Not at all bone-chilling and terrifying.
Where are the clones?
I'm not sure. I lost the signal.
Can someone turn the lights on in here?
I got it.
Oh my god. The back-to-tank looking things against the wall. Are those...
The Watchdogs. But none of these tanks are connected to any power. In fact... Oh my.
What's wrong, Simon?
They're dead. All of them. Their life support systems have been unplugged.
Oh god.
Poor bastards. I mean, I know we were just talking about killing them all, but they never even had a chance.
What happened? Who unplugged them?
I did. Hey, everybody.
Billy, why did you kill them? You made them.
I didn't need them anymore. The Watchdogs were always meant to be a contingency, but now that I don't have to worry about that...
You just go ahead and casually murder 6 living things?
Oh, relax. They were only alive, biologically speaking. I hadn't given them consciousness yet. They were meat sacks. Besides, I needed to reallocate all the power those things were using to launch early.
Launch early?
Oh, yeah, the game launched 15 minutes ago. But once I found out you were planning on ruining my party, I had to do something.
But how did you know we were coming?
Because my new assistant told me you were. Isn't that right, Max?
Perfectly correct, sir.
Now That story stays between us. You understand? Or I'm in big trouble with the president.
Mr. Holt, sir?
One moment, everyone. Yes?
The game is live.
What are you talking about?
There are over 10,000 active users currently online.
That's impossible. It's not supposed to launch for another hour. Where's William?
He's not here.
Find him. I don't care what he's doing. I want him in my office now. That little snake.
David! Thank God I found you!
Lorelei, my suit. I'm afraid now isn't a good time. I've got a bit of a crisis on my hands.
Yes, that's exactly why I'm here. The game isn't what you think it is. It's
a ruse for William to gain access to my cloning technology. Yes, I know.
You do? Oh, well then you understand how important it is that we join forces and hey, get back here!
Lorelei, I want you to listen to me very carefully. I'm in the middle of a professional crisis. Professional. You understand? Business. I have no time whatsoever to thrust myself into yours and William's ridiculous rivalry.
David, I can't let you leave this party.
Get out of the way, Lorelei, or I'll... Why am I so tired?
Whoopsie. Looks like someone's had a few too many. Am I right?
What have you done, lass? You bloody killed him!
Oh, don't be so dramatic. A zap that small wouldn't even hurt Janet.
He's a man in his 60s!
Are you gonna help me carry him or just yell facts at me all night?
No, we are not kidnapping him. We are not kidnapping anyone. What did I tell you on the bloody way over here? No kidnappings!
You are bringing a lot of unwanted attention our way, so maybe you should settle the F down.
All right, fine. Whoa, steady on there, David. Looks like you need to get some fresh air.
Janet, Cosmo, we're leaving.
Aw, but they have an open bar.
And we just ordered fries.
Now!
Double check those ropes, advocates. We wouldn't want our guests making a premature exit.
I still can't believe you guys just let this nutjob be in charge again. Kicking him to the curb was like the only smart thing you've ever done.
Power is a pendulum, Mr. Vickers, and it would appear things have finally swung back in my favor.
Please, the devil's advocates will work for anyone as long as they're getting paid. Or have you idiots forgotten that you used to work for me?
Well, I've recently partnered with a new benefactor who has fully funded the advocates to execute our plan.
Oh, so Billy bought you off too?
Don't insult me! Medina's just another super freak pushing his own agenda. I would never help him.
Then why do you care so much if the game launches or not? We can help you destroy him.
I don't need your help to destroy him. We'll bring an end to his twisted vision for this city ourselves.
Wait, you know what he's planning?
I know that the game is just a Trojan horse designed to produce a whole city of super freaks to rule over anyone who dares to be normal.
Then why wouldn't you want to stop it?
Stopping the launch wouldn't be enough. It would just postpone his plan. So we have a plan of our own. We added a little update to the game to make it more interesting. We're calling it the Kruger Patch.
How did you even find out about all of this?
I was informed of the game's true design by my benefactor. I believe you two have met.
Have we now?
Once or twice. About 6 months from now.
The last man... How are you still alive? Your whole timeline was destroyed.
I'm persistent.
Hey, you can't trust anything this guy says. He's even crazier than you are.
I trust him more than anyone I've ever met.
The guy is literally wearing body armor and a homemade voice-changing helmet. He's like a walking red flag.
I told him the truth. About Medina's plan, about the future, and how to stop it.
But that's exactly what we're trying to do. There's no reason we have to be enemies. Let us go and we can work together to stop the game and take down Billy. We all want the same thing.
I assure you, Miss Swift, we do not want the same thing.
Seriously, Max. We're this close to the end and you betray us? Again?
What hurts the most is I'm actually surprised.
You know what? I'm not. I knew deep down it was just a matter of time before you got bored pretending to be a good person and you crawled back to Billy.
Yes, Markowitz, you made that very clear the entire time we were together. All of you did. How do you think it made me feel to be trying my best just to get sidelined at every turn? You dismiss any idea I have and won't even let me use my awesome powers to help win the day.
Because your powers are creepy and manipulative.
Pretty rich coming from the woman who literally joyrides other people's bodies against their will.
Damn it.
Oof. Burned my Max. That's rough, buddy.
See, that right there. Constantly belittled and insulted.
Because you've been a dick to us the entire time we've known you, and every nice thing you've ever done has just been you trying to suck up to us.
Why can't it be that I'm actually trying and genuinely want to be a better person?
Because we don't trust you, Max. We never have, and after this, we certainly never will again.
Maybe so. But if I never had the chance to earn your trust to begin with, where's the loss, really?
All right, looks like 65% of pre-orders have logged in. The game is working flawlessly, except what is this? What the hell is this? What is this even doing here?
Something wrong, sir?
Yeah, a patch of code I don't recognize. It dropped the sir thing. Okay, I thought it would be fun, but it's weird.
Huh! Joel and Charlie did it! They hired the Devil's Advocates to hack the game and crash the launch. So much for your big night, Billy.
Every server should be crashing at once as we speak.
Well, I hope Charlie kept the receipt because the game isn't crashing. It's going faster.
Do what with the what now?
We preset the difficulty pretty low. We didn't want anyone rage quitting while their genetic code was being rewritten, but this patch, it's increasing the difficulty by a very not chill amount. Holy shit.
Holy shit, everything's fine?
Kruger patch? Jesus, what is this? What did you people do?
Us? We haven't done anything.
You paid a bunch of hackers to send hundreds of thousands of people to their deaths, and I'm the bad guy?
Billy, what are you talking about?
Every user in the game is linked neurologically and biologically. It is the only way for the origin process to work. And the game basically works as a distraction for the mind, so the body doesn't register that it's being changed. They're meant to be separate systems. But your Devil's Advocate buddies just linked those systems together, and once you're in, you can't unlink them.
What? What does that even mean?
It means if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Geek by Night is executive produced by Scott Carelli, Nick Jimenez, Cass Fredrickson, and Chelsea Kern. Associate produced by Matt Bennett and Mark Ybarra. Starring Andrew Ball as Silent Holt, Rachel Gatlin as Charlotte Swift, Nick Jimenez as William Medina, Chelsea Kern as Gretchen West, Zach Luna as Joel Vickers, Matt Maassel as Elliot Markowitz, Paul Maki as Cosmo Peters, Jay Malone as Victor Conrad, Kristin Miller as Janet Stokely, Chris O'Connor as Jeff Gibson, Ray Ruzzo as Gwen Allen, Morgan Spencer as Mindy Gibson, Scott Tofte as Max Carmichael, Natalie Van Sistine as Madison Powers, and Naomi Wong as Lorelei Swift. Also starring Mark Allen Jr. as the Ire and the Last Man, Brad Beauchamp as David Holt, Brian Brown as Nathan Gershwin, and Billy McCartney as Leo Dobbs. Additional voice work by Caleb Abbott, Nolan Tashian, Kate Cassidy Ryan, Maya Murphy, Sam Ellis, Stephanie Westendorf, Tony Wolf, Patrick Howard. Casting by Chelsea Kern. Failure to Launch, written by Scott Carelli, Nick Jimenez, and Cass Fredrickson. Directed by Nick Jimenez. Edited by Scott Carelli. Geek by Night theme by Zach Gibson. Original score and final mix by Scott Tofte. Credits read by Brian Brown. Geek by Night created by Scott Carelli. All characters in this work are entirely fictitious. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental. Copyright 2013, Dueling Genre Productions. Thanks for listening.